sometimes you have to take a step back and take inventory. Is it still what I want? Is that still the right
Yes.
goal? And
Yes.
because the goals are amazing and it's part of,
Hmm.
I need people like you in my life because I am not motivated at all by goals. That is not the language I speak.
Really?
Really, I'm all about action. What can I
Yeah.
do? Tell me
Yeah.
what to do
Yeah.
and I'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I love
That's
that
so funny.
you're working on that in a way that
Yeah.
still acknowledges that that is your strength.
Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate you saying that because, I mean, and even hearing you say that, I think, why was I so wedded to that particular goal? I didn't really, but it was just because that's what you're supposed to do. You do this, you do this, you do this.
Hmm.
That's what you do. And I look back and I think, in hindsight, though, that's not really what I wanted to do. I wanted to do it because it sounds great to say you work for a network and you're creating this content. It sounds great. But ultimately, I didn't want to be working for anyone else. And I had friends who were working in the network, and there was a lot of some nasty politics they had to deal with.
Yeah, no
And
kidding.
I was not good at that. I just wasn't. That's one thing I can't be fake that way. I really
No.
can't. I can be pleasant. I know when to smile and be cordial. But when it comes to sucking up, that was
Mm-mm.
probably one of my biggest downfalls. I could not suck up.
Good.
You need to take the blinders off and you need to be careful of the story or the narrative you're telling yourself of what should be and be open to what is in front of you. And I look
Mm.
back and I just thought, how fun was that I got to be on this set and I got to talk to these producers and I got to witness this. And the aha moment, I think, and it's really in hindsight,
They
is
usually
that
are.
yes,
Yeah, it's
yes,
pretty rare for you to notice at that pivotal
I
moment.
know, right?
Yeah.
It's so true, but it's really about just looking up, making sure you keep your eyes open. Just keep your
Hmm.
eyes open and grateful for the opportunities. And at the time, I was so frustrated about the doors that weren't opening that I wasn't really looking at the doors that were, even if that was a small crack, it was just
Right.
a
It could have
little,
been a window.
it could have been a window, right? But, but I look back and I try to be more open now when I
That's
see
brilliant.
opportunities.
What a
Thank you.
great lesson.
No one can take away the experience that I've had from scrapping from the bottom to the top, whether it's when I started as a camera person in a newsroom, pushing a camera across a studio, to becoming a reporter, to starting my own production company. Nobody can take that away from me. Like I went literally from the bottom, started at the ground.
Hmm.
And I'm not saying that I'm all that. I'm not. But I'm just saying there's something to be
Yes, you
said.
are.
Well, thank you. Thank you. But there's something to be said for experience and paying
Yes.
your dues and like doing it
Struggle.
legitimately and struggle.
Yeah. And
Right.
you have to earn it. And I
And
think
you earned it.
too
Right.
many people don't. They
Right.
feel entitled to whatever they get because that's how they were raised, or
Kind of.
they think they
Yeah.
shouldn't have to. And
Yes.
yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
I treasure the struggle. I look
Yeah.
back at the time I didn't,
Hmm.
going through college and working my way through school and graduating at 98 pounds because I didn't have enough money to eat.
Wow. Oh my
I was paying
gosh.
my rent instead of food. I mean,
Oh,
and I look back and I think, thank goodness I went through that because I was scrappy. Like
mm-hmm.
I know what I've
Ex
been through. When you have a client that says, you changed my life in the first 10 minutes of our conversation, okay, I'm worth it. And maybe
Yes.
I'm undervaluing myself.
Yes. 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 I totally get that. That is
Does
so
that
spot
kind of
on. It does. It does. And it takes me back to again when negative voices get in our heads about how we should value
Mhm.
ourselves. And again, I'm going to go a little bit off on this. When
I
I
love that.
was really, oh,
Yes, you
thank
go.
you.
You
You're
go
so
wherever it
generous.
takes
You're
you.
so generous. Thank you. Um, and I say this hopefully to inspire other listeners to never ever let this get in your head. I remember when I was first starting out as a reporter, and I had already had one job under my belt and I had a graduate degree. So I wasn't like completely new, but I was interviewing in another small market, like a small medium market. I'll just say it was Kentucky. And I was interviewing for this woman with this woman, and I had looked up what salaries were, and I had included what my graduate degree, my experience, and so of course she pulled out so what's your salary expectation? And I gave a figure which was commensurate with what other reporters were making, etc. And she said, "Well, don't we think a lot of ourselves?" And I just thought,
Yes,
wow. And yeah, you
I
know what?
do.
And I wish
And
I
maybe
had
you
said
should
that.
too.
Yeah. And I was so stunned. But then after that, I was going through, and you know what? And
Did you
it's
get the
funny.
job?
They did offer me the job at 20,000. They did offer me the job at $20,000 less than the figure. I did not take it. I did not take it. And I ended up getting a freelance position in DC instead. A much better place, much better position, much better
Right.
for me.